Welcome. We're back with another one, having some fun in the sun. It's your boy Coops, Loops, Toops, Mark, Lark, Dark with a bark, and a tark, and a shark is on my back. But we attack. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Guys, it is another day. We're doing vocation shit. We're back in Magistris to get this shit going on with a couple of the star quests. The path to stardom is upon us. And to start us off, I'm gonna give some talks about aura. I don't know what the title is. It's got something to do with aura, something to some aura bullshit up there. And today we're unlocking the superstar, as well as giving you guys a couple of ways to level up a class very fast. Because I basically, so when you first start this game, you're gonna have these 30-minute intervals every 2 hours that basically give you tons and tons of experience because you can just walk out on the field and there's metal monsters everywhere, and it's great and it's fantastic. But if you play the game enough and you become enveloped and captured in the world, they're like, well, we're just gonna take that away from you, buddy, and you're not gonna be able to do that for a little bit, you know. On some of the servers and in most of the areas you're going to be playing in, but you can still do it. It's just not as, you know, efficient as well because, you know, you gotta wait for them to happen and shit. And of course, it's not on every server now, as well. So it's a little bit more difficult, a little bit more hard to hone in on. But nevertheless, there's a lot of cool ways to level up to 30, which you have to do in order to do the rest of the quest for any of these given classes. I believe the first, like, a lot of classes, I don't know, the first like 5 or so classes that they added to the game you have to do this with. And then once you get further along to the pirate class, Death Master, things like that, they give you the levels automatically. But I welcome you to the playthrough. Thanks for stopping by. Gameplay wise, what we're doing here is just getting psyched up, getting our psych to the maximum, and then we have to kill these guys. Very wise to do the martial artist quest first, or, you know, get the minstrel quest under your way, or something like that, before you do this one, because of that fact. It's not every class that has the ability to psych up, but every class can psych up. It just, you know, there's no essential ability for it in every class line, right? So anyways, you do that, I believe 1 time is all you need, and then you unlock the superstar. Right, of the star, got the aura in the stars. And unlocking the superstar gets us quite a cool bunch of moves, quite a cool set of moves. But I'll get into that probably in the other parts. We're just going to level up the superstar through the Nurgle fight first here, first and foremost. That's a daily every day, and it'll bring you from 1 to about 20 every time, which is really, really good. And then you can also do the rosters theme, but what I will be utilizing for basically our entire playthrough here, or our entire video here, is the Metal Maze tickets. So Metal Maze tickets I think I've done a side quest episode on those, but essentially you go through the magic maze and you fight a bunch of metal monsters and you just kill them all in one hit because it's amazing, and this game loves you. And it feels very good to level up very, very quickly through that. There are a couple ways to get them, but if you don't play the game, they just give you a ton. So I suppose that's one way, you know. I know it can be so hard to put that controller down, but there's a lot of cool things to do in this horrible dystopian world we have here. But yeah, join me as we just do that for this episode, and I go over random things that have to do with the path to stardom, particularly pertaining to aura this time. Yeah, aura is something that you really have to think about as any kind of entertainer, because that's your baseline. That's the foundation from which you grow. As not only a person, but definitely as a personality in the public eye. The sad thing about reality is, we are, in some ways, just arbiters of our own social media personality following, and we always really were. It just wasn't so intrinsically connected with the internet and able to be corroborated and honed and optimized to perfection to only show you the greatest sides. Like, we always were performing before, even back in the olden days. You just only had your set of people you were performing for, and every time you stepped outside, it was your little show of effort, right? Ever since we had a civilized society, basically. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to perform and give your best show, but when we're talking about actual superstardom and fame, you have to have a baseline of an impenetrable aura in order to sustain a crazy career of thousands to millions of people constantly, I don't know, I don't want to say trying to kill you, but you know, constantly trying to take you off your balance. You know, grab what is rightly yours. And that's the thing about a lot of people who run this stardom route. You know, that's where the bodyguards are needed. It's the love, it's the suffering, and what's crazy is I don't understand how we're not all crashing out over the fact that, you know, we've basically been put on here, you know, put upon this path to suffer. You know, there's really nothing good up there, but in every case, we're trying to fight that fight and make it all the way to the top. You know, it's like the whole Hunger Games. If you guys know how the end of Hunger Games goes, and how the end of so many of these coming-of-age stories go, you know, there's nothing good up there. Up there, you know what there is? There's another fight. There's one battle after another, man. So, what you have to do on this aura shit, I'd say, first of all, you gotta be confident in what you are building. And not just the confidence that, you know, you can sort of fake and go through and be like, yeah, I just know it because, you know, totally, and layer that up. But it has to be from you just knowing who you are and truly understanding what you're capable of and where your potential will lead you. That natural charisma of awareness leads your aura to be a little bit stronger, you know, be a little bit stronger. And then you take that to number 2, to be emotional, you know, and still feel strong. Because I feel like that's where the authenticity comes in, man. If your aura doesn't also have a deep sense of emotionality, along with the confidence, because when we think of confidence, we don't think of somebody actually being like sad or depressed or unaware of how good their skills are. But that's where the sensitivity comes in. You can't deny any of these emotions within your aura. You kind of have to, like I said a lot of times, you kind of have to use them as tools. Put them into the art. Put them into the work you desire to create. And quite simply, allow the work, allow the emotions to speak for themselves. See, the problem with a lot of simping culture and, you know, actively narcissistic main character syndrome, a performative male, all this bullshit that keeps getting thrown on any kind of person who tries to be out of a mold that maybe is different than your own, to try to understand them, is that that's the thing. People are trying to understand, and you should not give them any explanations. You gotta let the people read the book and come to their own damn conclusions. And whatever conclusion they come to, don't try to fix it. That's them, man. That's them. If they think it sucks, good. If they think it's amazing, good. You know, if they're vocal about it, good. If they're silent about it, good. Whatever they do is on them. And you have to take all of your emotions, all of the crazy powers and things you feel, and hold it towards yourself, hold it towards your body, for your light. Because as powerful as we are, and this is so annoying, I know we all get annoyed with this phrase, constantly beaten over our heads, just like so many other terms in the popular culture today. But it gets said a lot because it is fucking true, you know? It's just like a great power comes with great responsibility. It is so true. And people don't take this a little step further and say that emotions are power, because emotions always lead to actions, and I feel like our actions are our statement of love, you know, our statement of prayer to the highermost thing in life. You know, whatever you're disciplined towards, whatever your actions say, that's your real prayer. It's not what you're actually saying that you're going to do, or the love that you're saying that you're giving to this person. It's you, you know, like for a small example, it's you going to a channel and watching all the videos and liking the videos and leaving a comment just because you want to leave a comment, or sharing it with a friend because you think this is something that they would like. And you don't have to stop in every stream or even leave a comment on every video. saying what you're doing. You just have to do it, and you have to do that authentically, and that's real power. That's where the real confidence comes from, that you have to hold within yourself. That's where the aura will fester from that confidence. But yeah, it's very annoying because, like, of course we realize this. Like, of course, who doesn't realize this automatically? The problem is everybody tells you that you have to say so much, you have to do so much, you have to be out here in a certain way, and you have to hold and grasp onto every little inch of power you have because it's gonna go away. And that's not false, right? It is gonna go away. It is gonna go away. You're never going to have the same amount of power forever. That's just not the way the world works. I know a lot of girls are gonna be really mad at that, you know. A lot of guys who are in their feminine state are gonna be really mad at that. But there are some guys who see that and are like, yeah, that's good, right? I like that. I would like a world like that. I like a world where you can level up and level down. And it's so funny. I think we did cosplay on Quote recently, but it's so funny. I was thinking about this. That is one of the first and one of the only games I've ever seen where you can level down. You know, I know you can do it in some games like Dark Souls and whatnot. And then in some games you can just stop yourself from leveling up when there's an experience system. But in Cave Story, we are allowed to level down. And for some weapons, it's good to be low level. And that's how life works, man. You don't just level up and then you're up top and then you're forever up top. And I don't understand why people think that is how it is for anything, for especially for relationships. People don't get that the reason why I am so afraid to truly attach and get committed to something is because I don't want to fuck them up, you know, and me. Because, you know, honestly, once you get in there, that's your time to lock in. And if you don't make them better or you better, then you're fucking up as a guy. You know, and I'm not going to go into, you know, how a woman is supposed to treat a man, because then we're going to get all misogynistic and whatever. And honestly, I really don't fucking know. I really don't fucking know. I've seen failure upon failure, I've seen concede upon concede, and honestly, it just seems like most good relationships involve a healthy amount of delusion and sacrifice that I'm not comfortable giving now because I have, you know, things to work towards. But I don't think you should ever really be comfortable giving completely, because that's what pushes people away. Just from, you know, what I've done in the past. Because like I said, I didn't really care. I didn't really care about relationships or people or whatever, blah, 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 you know. I let the things form when they formed, and when I saw an opportunity, I was like, let me take this, right? Because I didn't really want anything. I was just floating along, and I decided to give a lot. It really does push people away. It really does. For some reason, you know, everybody's a shit person in life, and they just feel like they don't deserve it. They feel like they have to be serving some kind of cost. And I'm not being crazy when I say I don't want anything. Like, I'm living a near perfect life right now. Like, all I do is listen to music. You know, I listen to Peso Pete. You know, I watch my stupid Gooner streamers. I be gaming. I be ordering Postmates. I be smoking. You know, I be dancing around in the room. And then sometimes I go live and make music. Like, what more could I really want, honestly? Like, $1 million? What the fuck am I gonna do with that? Video games suck now. You know, everything good I can just pirate or emulate. Like, it's not a big deal for all these vanity things. It never has been. So I'm not saying you can evolve to this level, you know, and be, you know, free of desire. I'm just saying, like, as somebody who's never really had it, and I see how it's like dissolving people's fulfillment in life. It's sad to see, because it's so easy to go the opposite way and just just breathe air and chop wood, carry water, and don't care. Hey, that's a bar though. That's a bar though. But yeah, it's always been easy. It's always seemed easy to do that stuff for me. And I think it always will be, depending on your mindset. You just have to relax and know that you are where you need to be. And all that comes to is just enjoying your moments. You know, stop jumping in the past or the future, or I have to hold on to this power, or I have to hide this emotion this way, or I have to utilize this emotion this way. Man, as long as you're baselining, making it through life, and not killing people, not raping babies, you're fine, man. And that's the thing. Your confidence and your aura will come from you just being content with that, and you not needing to go into all this shit and do all these things. Man, peace is divine. Peace truly is divine. And it really is gonna suck for a lot of extroverted people, but I feel like a lot of people just need to try moments. And when I say moments, I mean taking a second, 5 good seconds, you know, before you make the tweet, before you hit like on the video, before you hit play on the video, before you start up the game. Just take those clean 5 seconds. In fact, let's do it now. I'll do it. I'll count for you. Here we go. That was good, right? That was good, right? It felt good to me. And I hope in the future, because it's happening, I hope in the future we become a lot less reliant on things to distract us from that thing right there. That is divine, man. It really is. It really is. I can't tell you how many boss fights I've done, and I've been fucking grinding, and I've been sweating it out for so fucking long. And then I pick my sweaty ass up off the gamer chair. I step outside for 2 seconds. I breathe air. I take a piss. I grab a water. I come back, and that motherfucker is done first try. So guys, aura will come. Power will come. Let's relax into it. And I suppose I'll see you next time, because we will have a beefy star to shine. Koopa out, and I will catch you later.
Bitch, back it up like some truck. I just had to come out of the cut with that man's up on. I got